My name is Nick Taylor. I'm a staff engineer at Netlify, and we are back on livecoding.ca. I'm here today with Ben Myers. Super excited to have Ben on here. I'm a big fan of his streams, and he's definitely been on a bunch of other ones. So, Ben, if you just want to go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, howdy, howdy, y'all. My name is Ben Myers. I am a software developer working for Microsoft on Microsoft's documentation platform. And on the side, I tend to do a lot of talking about web accessibility as well as you'll sometimes see me in 11D spaces as well. I host a stream of my own. It's called Some Antics, where every week I bring on a guest from around web development and web design to teach me something about building great user experiences for the web in a hands on way with a focus on accessibility and core web technologies. Nick, could you tell it all that I have rehearsed that pitch?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, exactly. Ben is not a robot. He's actually here with me. So,
I know. Here's the thing, Nick. What you don't know is I actually pre-recorded all of this, and so it's going to go very flawlessly. Yeah. So yeah, I'm super excited to be here though. One of the things, so maybe kind of leading into our topic today,
yeah.
that semantic stream I've been doing that for a year and a half now. And I
Okay.
don't think you can do a year and a half of streaming without picking up a few things here and there. Um,
Yeah,
and I see
definitely.
Anthony, yeah, I see Anthony in the chat, and Anthony has commented to me before on just how much I just like give away knowledge wise to other people entering streaming.
Yeah,
There's just something I love about streaming as a form of content creation for developers. And I think sometimes we see really polished dev shows. For me, that show was Learn with Jason, right?
yeah.
We see
Same
polished
here.
shows like that. Awesome. Always good to meet a member of the boot crew. Um, and so yeah, we see these polished shows and we think, "Oh, I could never do that." Right?
Yeah,
But the truth is a lot of us can, and a lot of us should definitely give it a try, right? Like you should try dev streaming once. And I really love making the on-ramp for that as easy as possible because really all you
yeah,
need to start streaming is OBS. You start showing your screen, you probably got your computer's built-in mic hooked up, and maybe you show your webcam, right? That's all you really need to get streaming. But
yeah.
then,
Exactly.
you start adding polish on as time goes on, and you start making it your own. You figure out the systems that work for you. I really love helping people in those like early stages figure out what those systems are. And part of that is what we're working on today, which is a tool I've built called showmy.chat.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop that in the chat unless you want to go ahead. But yeah, so I guess how did show my? I'm assuming show my chat came about because of your own stream. You were just like,
Yeah.
uh, I'd like to have better chatting in showing up in my overlays, and probably it was a
Mhm.
fun project to do as well.
Yeah. So a bit of streaming philosophy. Like, why would we even want to show a chat overlay as part of our scenes, right? Like
Yeah.
someone might be watching the stream and they can see like the Twitch native like chat widget off to the side, right?
Hmm.
Why would we also want to show that as part of our video itself? There are a couple of
Yeah.
reasons, right? I think if you're gonna do any archiving of the stream, like if you upload your streams to YouTube, the chat won't persist when you upload it,
Exactly.
right? So that's a big reason is archival reasons. Another big reason is I think giving the chat an ability to influence the stream, even in some small way. Like I can send a message and it shows up as part of the stream. I think that's a psychological thing that just makes you more engaged in the stream. You have an impact. And so in some way you have like a bit of ownership over the stream. There's like this weird
Yeah.
psychological trick where people like seeing their name on the screen. Um,
Yeah.
and, and so um, I built my own overlays using web tech that would Twitch sends out all of your chat messages through the IRC medium. And so there are abstractions, there are libraries people have built that will turn that IRC into just some handy WebSocket wrappers. And
Hmm.
Um, I had built my own overlays using these, and then I realized like, well, I wasn't the only person using those, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
my friend Alex Trost, who I'm not actually looking at the chat. I don't know if he's here, but oh, he's not yet at least. But he has a chat overlay, right? And so he's
yeah,
writing all the same code I did, and then Stephanie Eccles, she's writing the same code I did, right? Like everyone's writing the
yeah,
same code to create these overlays and to parse all the emotes and stuff like that to show a
yeah,
chat. And so I I just decided, you know what? Like, if everyone's writing the same code anyways, I might just like put it up onto the web for just anyone to use. What you might
hmm
not know if you're not in the streaming world, by the way, is that everything you see, kind of decorative elements, the banner that's below us, all of this is web tech.
yeah,
Like we built web pages that we can then pull into our streaming software OBS as overlays. And so anything you can do with web tech, you can now do as part of your stream layout, which is super cool. And knowing that
yeah.
unlocks a lot of potential. And so I just built Show My Chat as a tool to let you put in a couple of customizations, pick a theme, and then it gives you a URL that you can just drop into your streaming software of choice. And
Okay.
uh, it's as easy as that, really.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, and speaking of web tech, so I did a couple of streams with Jay Tompkins. He's I think he's over at Google now, but he's having a fun time over there. But one of the things we ended up using, and I have it in my overlay too, is I'm using Comfy.js. I'm gonna drop a link to
Yeah.
that. This is getting back to what Ben was saying about just web tech. So, for example, I have some commands. I'll share the help again, but for example, I have an alpaca head. I just like the alpacas. There's a lot of alpacas around, like just
Mhm.
outside of the city where I live. So I have a command where I just say hide the alpaca, so you can pass a command, and then you're gonna see the head go down in a minute. There's a bit of delay because of the stream, but just fun stuff like that,
Yeah.
and it it also, like you said, to your point about like keeping people engaged in the stream, people definitely like hearing about themselves and seeing themselves. There's always a bit of a cool factor for somebody because like, oh yeah, my
Mhm.
screen, my picture's up there, or my what I said is in the video. So
Yeah.
I can definitely relate to that. So yeah, okay, so why don't we maybe switch over to pairing view,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna start that up. You're not gonna see the screen share for a sec, Ben, because
Okay.
full. I'll show it to you in a sec. But full
Mhm.
disclosure, like 20 minutes before the stream, I completely revamped how I'm doing my video, and Ben
Mhm.
was kind enough to under pressure help me just get it set up. So I'm using video.ninja if anybody's curious.
Yeah.
I'll probably do a stream at some point about that. So we're just gonna switch into pairing view, and I'm gonna share it for you now, Ben. So give me one sec. I don't want to join room with
Mhm.
a camera. No, I do not. And I don't want any audio. Okay, let's start that. And I'm going to share my screen. Okay, there we go. You should be able to see this now, Ben. Okay, let me
Yes, there we
know.
go. Cool. We're live. All
Okay,
right.
and I'll just move our director's room out of there because I'm a little clunky today. Okay, so I've got, I should probably close my work. It's open source, so no biggie, but we don't really need to
Yeah.
see my Netlify work right now. Okay, close folder. Cool, and I'll go there. I'm gonna go to my dev folder. Go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, and I think maybe just to show off what we're talking about, maybe we just start by going to show my chat in the browser and going through it the way I anticipate most people will go about it.
Yeah,
Because I don't think most people will be going with custom themes. I think most people will be picking a theme that already exists, right? So I just want to
yeah,
kind of show
exactly.
off what the workflow is. So we're at showmy.chat, and yeah, just go ahead and start filling this out the way you want. Um,
Okay,
and let's pick a theme. I'm a big fan of Candy Stripe Stark, so
okay, so
let's
let's
go ahead
take that
and
out.
um,
Okay,
and so this is, we've got a live updating preview on the right. Another one to highlight, it's June 1st. It's the start of Pride Month. So let's go ahead and open up the themes drop down and we can choose.
okay,
There's one called Pride Dark. Um, it's
okay,
all
yeah.
out. And
Oh,
so
that's a
as
really
a
nice one. I like that.
Thank you. Yeah, and we may even if there's a particular theme you like as a starting place, we can
Yeah.
absolutely copy it down the road. But the idea here is like this is just kind of working out of the box. It looks nice. I think it's not altogether unreasonable to think someone genuinely really could want to see this in their chat. Um,
I get, I'm gonna load it up. I just
we
want to see it with the live
yeah
one.
yeah. So we'll
Oh, there
yep.
we go. Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
so you can see it works in real time. It's great, right? And let's go back to the actual show my chat. There we go. So you have options for more customizations. Like for instance, I noticed earlier that you had was it stream elements? Yeah, you've got
Yeah.
stream elements, right? This is a bot that's gonna just send out status messages. Maybe you've decided you don't actually want stream elements messages to show up in show my chat in
Okay.
your little chat overlay. Or a big one for me is a lot of people will use a bot called Pretzel Rocks, which
Oh,
is
yeah, yeah,
designed to yeah, it brings in like open source music, or not open source, royalty free music. But
yeah.
every message, like every time it changes the song, it sends a little message about that. That could be really
Hmm.
annoying. So let's put in the
Yeah.
hide messages from, let's just type in Pretzel Rocks as one word.
Okay.
And if you were using pretzel rocks in your own stream, right, that
Yeah.
would now be excluded from all the messages, right?
Okay. Gotcha.
You've got quite a few commands. Let's say you really want people to see all of your commands, right? Because you've got a ton of them. And for me, like I want to show commands because I think if people are spamming commands, there's an
Yeah.
effect of like, oh, I want to actually see like the chat flood with that, right?
Yeah.
So just go ahead and type in true. The reason that this is a text box is because it actually gives you a chance to like selectively choose what commands you want to show. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, we've got tons of options, and we could go through all of these if we really wanted. I don't really think we need to, but if there's things you're looking at this where it's like, oh, I actually only want like 2 or 3 messages to show up, you could change the
Okay.
show latest messages field. Or if you want messages to auto clear, like if you want them to expire after a certain amount of time, um,
Okay.
that you'd use that clear messages after stuff like that. And then at the end, as you've been updating, there's this URL here at the bottom that has been auto updating with all of your fields. There's a nice little copy button. So if you're in OBS, you could create a browser source and you could drop that URL in directly, right? And
Okay.
it's just going to work out of the box. And so I think that this is a fairly ergonomic experience. There are things I want to do to like improve this, but
Yeah.
overall, it's fairly plug and play.
Okay, gotcha. So like you're saying, yeah, for folks who don't stream or who've never used OBS, there is a browser source, what Ben was saying. So you can literally like, so for example, right now, like if you're seeing my stream, you see
Mm.
the alpaca head and there's some emojis enlarged there that people can move around. Those are all on a browser source. They call them chat overlay. So there's also like when people subscribe or not subscribe or follow. I have one that's not custom. It's from Stream Elements, I believe, or Streamlabs. I can't remember which one. Um,
Mhm.
so I guess at this point, I could copy that URL just to show people like it popping in the
Yeah,
stream okay, so let's do that. I'm
yeah.
gonna switch over to VS Code so they're not seeing that, and I'll just add a browser source real quick here. Ba-da-da-da.
Is there a chance you could bring OBS over you might get the
Yeah.
infinite recursion, which I think is a performance hit sometimes, but if you wanted to bring
Okay.
OBS over into the screen so everyone can see kind of what you're doing here,
Yeah. Yeah.
we can try it.
Unfortunately, I can't zoom this in unfortunately because it's not web.
Yeah.
But so I'm gonna create a new browser source. I'm just gonna call it Show My Chat for now. I can rename this later.
Mhm.
And right away it gives you an option. So I can put in a browser source, which is what I copied
Yeah.
from what Ben's site, Show My Chat.
Yeah.
There's some other things here.
I recommend changing the, width and height. I like to see a kind of vertical thing, so I think what I typically tend to do is, oh god, what is it? I think it's width 400, height 600 is fairly
Okay.
decent. You can play around with this, but this is how you would kinda scale things. Um, and
Okay.
then, let me send a message. just so that you can
Yeah.
actually see something pop up. Um,
I'll pop one in
so
too. Okay, cool. So they're popping in live on the stream already now.
yes, yeah,
I'm gonna
it
move
does kind
OBS
of mess
off
with.
because
Yeah, and we may want to disable that just so that we're not like overloading screens. But yeah, it's working out of the box, right? You've already put this in.
yeah,
The on ramp here, I think, is so painless, right? If
yeah,
you're a streamer who's just getting started and you don't need anything hyper specifically customized for your needs, but you just want something that looks nice, like you just filled out a form and then dropped in a link into your OBS instant, right? Like
yeah.
that was painless, I think.
No, for
Um,
sure. And
yeah.
it's something that's so cool, I think, because like a lot of us are web developers, so
Mhm.
you can leverage all this tech, like you were saying, to just make cool things in your own stream. And getting back to your first point when we were talking initially about streaming
Mhm.
and encouraging people to do it, I definitely agree with that too. Uh, and I would definitely say you don't have to like all the things we're doing here now. And I've got my alpaca
Mhm.
head. Ben has very customized stuff too. You don't need any of that when you first start off. Like if I
Right.
have videos of my original stream when I started, and it was literally like my
Mhm.
webcam, my screen shared, and it was all black pretty much. I think.
Yes.
Um,
I've seen a lot of people who are very intimidated by like they feel like they have to start with like 110% polish, and you
yeah,
don't, right? In fact, I actively don't recommend starting with polish, right? Start with
yeah,
the bare minimum and then start with even less than that, right?
yeah, exactly.
But this is one of those things where, the bare like getting show my chat into your OBS instance, getting a totally functioning chat is so painless that like maybe it's not completely fitting your vibe, right? Like it's not completely
Yeah,
your aesthetic. Maybe you want something a little more custom. But to start, it's so little effort and stress that
yeah,
I think it's worth it. I also one of the things I want to call out here is sometimes Twitch APIs change. Like a couple months ago, Twitch announced animated emotes, and that meant that
okay,
your ability, like the way you had to process emotes to get animated emotes to work,
yeah,
required some code changes, right?
okay,
And that is something that everyone who's doing a custom solution has to do, right? But if you're using
gotcha.
something like Show My Chat, I was able to push those updates just automatically, right? The
Okay,
next time
gotcha.
you pull up OBS, you got those changes automatically. You didn't have to worry about any of that, right?
Hmm.
So that is, I think, just even less of a maintenance thing, right? Is like just let me handle the changes to the API. I've got it,
Yeah,
right? Like it all happens in one place.
yeah, exactly. No, I think that's great, and I gotta say too, I love like just the design of the site and how it demonstrates everything working. It's just really well polished.
Mhm.
So just
Thank
hat
you.
tip there.
Thank you so
Um,
much.
and actually, I like this theme a lot. It's actually
Okay.
really nice. Um, Yeah, so okay, so we have right now we're looking at Show My Chat and we've got like out of the box themes we can grab.
Yeah.
If is it also possible like if I'm like, oh, this is really great, but I'd love to like maybe just tweak it a little bit or overhaul one of them slightly. Is
Okay.
that possible?
Yes. So, if you've got a base theme that you like, right, and you want to
Okay.
change one or two things about it, they're the easiest way to do just small, incisive tweaks
Yeah.
is through in OBS. There was a like when you were adding the browser source, you had the ability to add some custom CSS, so you could
Okay,
override.
yeah.
Is all of this is CSS powered? Like every theme is just a CSS style sheet, right?
Yeah.
And so let's first of all get some of our markup that like let's figure out kind of what selectors we've got going into this. So if you go to the
Yeah.
tab that you've actually got like the live chat going, let's take a look at
Okay.
kind of what's going on here. So you
Yeah.
have yeah. So hey Travis, good to see you. Yeah, so if you inspect the markup here, you can see that what we've got in our body is we've got this unordered list with the data Twitch chat attribute. So this unordered list that exists is the entire chat, right? It's all the
Okay.
messages. And every message is its own list item. Um,
Yeah.
And maybe let's just go ahead and directly inspect that message from building bedrock layout there at the bottom. That way we can like kind of see as like we pan over things, things highlight, right? So
Okay.
I go overboard with the amount of selectors that I provide. Like I've got so many data attributes and stuff like that, so many ways to customize this. That
Yeah, yeah.
like basically my goal here as I'm building show my chat and as I've been working with other people, like I want to call out Nikki Muleman and as well as like Alex Riviere and other folks. Ken is another person who's contributed. But yeah, the goal here as we're building this out is we provide as much information as possible for you
Okay.
to be able to use the style hooks. So
Gotcha.
let's see. I'm gonna try to find a good one. Actually, we had what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mention Nikki here. And what I want you to do is I want you to inspect that like at Nikki. There we go. Yeah, at Nick YT, Nikki T
Okay.
online. And you can see we've got a mark tag with this data Twitch mentioned user. And maybe
Okay.
just to demonstrate a quick process of how we might change that, let's
Yeah.
use are you familiar with attribute selectors in CSS?
Yeah, yeah. The data is here, and yeah.
Yeah. So let's
Well,
go ahead and
attributes in general. Yeah.
yeah, let's go ahead and in our custom CSS and OBS, let's go ahead and target that data Twitch mentioned user and let's make it. Do
Okay.
you have a favorite color? Um,
Let's see. For now, maybe let's go with. Well, green's pretty boring, but I'm trying to think of. Let's go with badass
oh
BADA55.
yeah. Okay. Let's scroll down to the custom CSS.
Yeah.
So
And
OBS, like
again, for the folks
OBS,
watching, I can't zoom this in this part, unfortunately.
yeah, yeah. OBS is not always accessible in that front. Let's go ahead and override what it's got here because it's basically what it's doing is it's nuking the body background, but we don't have a body background. Um,
Yeah.
and so yeah, let's go ahead and nuke this and let's create our attribute selector here. So this is going to be brackets and then data Twitch mentioned user.
Oops. Shit.
Oop,
I don't know. I copied the wrong thing, but I'll just type
yeah.
it. Uh, yeah, these are really great too. This is a nice way to just for web dev in general to drive
Yeah.
like functionality with CSS.
Mhm. So it's
Okay,
actually
cool.
gonna be mentioned user, but I totally
Thank
agree
you.
on the attribute selector front. I think we need to be doing more with styling with attribute selectors. Data attributes in particular are really nice because you can query for the existence of the attribute and you can query for the value as well as query for a subset of the value.
Yeah,
And I really like that the way the selectors are written, the attribute name is directly tied to the value. So you know, it's very, like, very direct on that front, right?
yeah,
And so you see, like, "Oh, I specifically mean the mentioned user is this." So let's go ahead and set this to be, like, color lime or something like that, or color hot
yeah.
pink.
Okay, let's go hot pink because it's gonna be a hot summer.
There we
Okay,
go. And
so
then you will have to hit OK, and it is gonna reload this. So,
yeah,
I'm
and
gonna
look at the top right of the stream, and you should see it, folks.
yeah.
Give me one
Um,
sec.
oh,
Um,
yeah, it's not gonna show up in the browser, though, because you haven't, because you
oh
did
yeah,
this in
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Look in the actual stream. Sorry.
yeah.
Uh,
There we go. Okay.
yeah, I
Gotcha.
see hot pink over there. Okay, cool.
So this is really good if you have very hyper specific things you want to do. Like the theme that the theme that you started with was, you know, good. It was fine, right? You liked it, but you just wanted to change one or two things about it.
Okay.
I have seen folks who take this and then immediately like try to create a whole theme in their custom CSS block, and that
Yeah,
is not recommended, right? If you want an entirely new thing, create an
yeah,
entirely new theme, and we can go through that process. But if you got like very hyper specific, like incisive changes you want to make, this is a great way to
yeah.
go about it.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I love this. And this is actually what I do with because I currently have the pop out chat from Twitch at the bottom right,
Mhm,
and I've done style changes there to get it to look in a way. I tried to make it as accessibly looking as possible.
mhm.
Some of it it's hard to control because I think the user color changes sometimes. But I
Yeah.
can't remember if I.
Um, Yeah, so that's actually an interesting thing, right? Because one of the things that Show My Chat does is it exposes. So when you're in the Twitch chat, you have the option to set what color your username
Okay.
appears as, like when you send messages in chat. Otherwise, Twitch is going to randomly generate a color for you from a palette every time you join
Okay.
a new. But, as you've mentioned, right, the ability for any user to set any hex code is a valid, color in,
Hmm.
in like the designated chat colors. So OBS does expose that hex code, but then it also exposes attributes for like, oh, this hex code is lighter than it is dark, or it's darker than it is light. So you know how to like tweak it to like basically have it like show up like, oh, if you're gonna use this color, like this dark color, pair it with a light color on the background, or vice versa. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Just
Um,
here we go. Drop that. Yeah. So let me get back Brittany was just asking about the chat pop
mhm,
out from Twitch, the native. Well, not
yeah.
native maybe, but um, it it was my way of doing things before something like Show My Chat existed, basically.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm excited to pop this in. Okay, so
Mhm.
all right, so we've got the hot pink in there, like we said. Okay, so and it's all CSS, so pretty much everything is configurable. So okay, the hot pink actually looks pretty good. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, I
okay,
I remember, like, oh, you're building, like, this rainbow theme, right? And then you have to choose, like, one color for the mentions, right? And I was stuck on, like, what color should I do?
yeah,
And so I landed on the blue, but the hot pink does look nice.
yeah,
But, yeah. So this is a thing you can do if you wanna make small tweaks. But, um,
okay,
what if you wanted to make your own theme, right? Like, none of the
okay,
themes that we've got here are quite doing it for you. We've got a kind of different workflow. I don't anticipate most people are going to be making their own theme because it relies on a lot of CSS knowledge, which is great for us web developers. But if you're just a
yeah,
streamer, like you can picture like a gaming streamer or something like that, or
hmm,
people in like I like to watch mechanical keyboards streams sometimes, right? Like people in
okay,
those worlds don't necessarily have the skill set, right, to be able to make their own theme, right? So this is
yeah,
kind of unfortunately it's making your own theme is kind of designated like delegated to us web developers, unfortunately.
yeah,
But yeah, so
okay,
let's go ahead and start a workflow for making our own theme. And the way we're going to actually do that is if you scroll down to the bottom, there is a link
okay.
to the GitHub repo.
Ooh,
Yep. And
nice,
so
nice.
we're going to clone this. We're going to run this locally. Our workflow is going to be a local workflow.
Okay, I just started. If you check out the repo, I'm gonna drop that in the chat. Feel free to give it a star, folks. Show Ben some love. Uh, I can only assume this did not take a few hours to build out this whole thing, so
And again, there are contributors on the right hand side. I've also got the all contributors bot working in the README. Like I am not the
okay,
only person who's been working on this. It was kind of my project to start, but like especially like Nikki Muleman has been absolutely instrumental in setting up our CI/CD tooling and stuff like that. Other people have come by and provided some very valuable additions as well. So it's not just me, despite what it says up there, but
yeah,
yeah, Anthony's on there as well. So
yeah,
yeah,
cool.
let's go ahead and clone this. And
Okay,
so this is powered by 11D, which people find very interesting. However, what I will explicitly say is it is abusing some of 11D's already esoteric features. So it works for the purpose. However, please don't treat this as the pinnacle of what 11D sites are. Don't treat this as like a way to understand how 11D works. Um,
okay. I'm gonna fork it actually.
oh
Uh,
yes, yeah,
yes. Okay. Yeah, just because I don't want to make all the changes. All of a sudden, I go to push them up, and then it's like, oh, can't do that.
yep,
All
yeah,
right.
yep.
Okay. All right. So let's do that again. I'm lazy, so I have an alias for Git called G.
Nice.
So, yeah, yeah. And I'm also even lazier. Like I use
Oh,
Yarn for
hey,
some projects, and I use a Y, so it's like
nice.
I don't know. Anyways,
Nikki Neeleman is in the chat. Nikki, we've been complimenting all of your CI/CD and lint additions and stuff like that. So glad you could make it.
yeah, thanks for all that
Yeah.
work.
Um,
Cool.
and
All
let's
right,
go ahead
yeah.
and install our dependencies as well.
Okay, using okay, yeah, you're using npm, not yarn. Okay, so
Yes.
I have another alias here. Well,
This was actually a conversation we had for a while. Like for the longest time, I wanted your package manager of choice to be agnostic, but then we ran
okay,
into some compatibility issues where it's like we had to choose one or the other. And so we landed on npm because while Yarn and PNPM can provide like their own benefits, if you're doing Node, you're
yeah,
guaranteed to have npm, and so that was what we landed on as our default. So it's npm.
yeah. I mean, and the it still works fine. You know what I mean? It's not
Yep.
like I mean, depends on the project, I guess. But
Yeah.
okay, cool. So we've got
Yeah.
everything installed there. Okay, so
You
what's
wanna just
next?
run this? It's, npm run dev if you wanna just kinda
Okay,
run this locally.
okay, and this will start the
And
11 server. Okay, cool.
yeah. And how
Uh,
familiar are you with 11D, by the way? I'm curious.
Um, my blog runs with 11D, and I gave a talk about it last week with you. So
Oh,
I wouldn't
yeah.
say I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but
Mhm,
I've written my own short codes. I hadn't
mhm.
done nunchucks before, but it pretty much looks exactly like handlebars, which
Yeah.
I've done. When I
Mhm.
worked at Dev 2, we had liquid tags, which look like short codes too. So I feel pretty comfortable in there.
Mhm.
The global data, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I definitely wouldn't classify myself as expert though.
Yeah, you do not need to be an expert for this. Again, we're already like abusing some 11D features just to get a nice like workflow, especially local changes workflow.
Yeah.
And technically, the overlay itself is powered by 11D serverless, which you don't
Okay.
really need to know anything about for creating a theme. But you can see we've got our homepage up, um, and yeah, let's go back to our editor real quick and let's create
Yeah.
a new theme file. So I mentioned that themes are just CSS style sheets, and I mean it, right? Like that's all they
Yeah.
are. So if you pop open the source folder, you're
Yeah.
going to see, first of all, I want you to scroll down. There's a theme template.css. It's in
Okay.
source. It's in the bottom of source. Yeah. So this is brand new. I don't think anyone here, even our contributors, have seen this quite yet because I got enough feedback that was like, "Hey, starting a theme is complicated. It would be nice to have like an absolute boilerplate." And so that's
Yeah.
what this
Yeah.
is. Um,
Okay. Cool.
and
Cool.
so this is the bare minimum. So let's just go ahead and copy this. So like just Command A, copy, uh, and
Yep.
then let's pop open the themes directory and let's create a new style sheet in here. And do you have
Okay.
a particular name you want to call this? Like uh,
Yeah.
in lieu of anything
Yeah. I
else,
got
you
one.
could call. Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
I'm just gonna go with YOLO.
Hello. Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's kind of
So
my
and
motto a bit.
Yep. Let's save this, and then let's actually already go back to the browser once it's saved. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Now if you pop open the theme dropdown, oh, you might need to refresh.
Okay.
Let's refresh and see if that works.
All right.
Yeah, at the
That
very
works.
bottom, there's already a YOLO theme. As you can see, it's gross, right? This is not pretty in the slightest, right? It is bare minimum styles, but it gives you kind
Yeah.
of some scaffolding, and some things that I thought were like bare minimum that for the most part themes could guarantee. Things like uh, the ability for messages to appear at the bottom and old messages to float
Mhm.
up to the top. Emotes have some sensible styles to start with by default, stuff like that, right? So like
Okay.
there are a few kind of basic things in there, but overall it's very minimal and very easy to tear out. So we've already
Okay.
got ourselves a theme going. In fact, let's go ahead and put in um the yeah, let's go ahead and put in a channel name. Let's go ahead and put Nick
Okay.
YT online. Is it Nicky T or is it Nick YT?
It's Nicky T. My name's Nick, but this comes the background of my handle is
Mm,
I used to have an email that had my birth year in it. I was like, that doesn't make sense. That's not a good idea. And then I was
yeah.
like, I played rugby for many years, and a lot of people called me Nicky T.
Okay.
And then I was like, I'll just call myself Nikki T Online, but it's kind of silly if
Mm.
you think about it, because if you're online, you're already online. So
Yeah.
I
So
just kept it and roll with it.
um yeah, so let's go ahead and put in channel name. Let's put Nikki T online. It doesn't really matter because we're gonna do the demo mode that we have, but
Yeah,
just to have something fairly realistic. And then we don't need to change all of these settings because we're just gonna be working on styling things, right? So let's scroll down
yeah,
to the bottom and it'll give you like that URL is now gonna be localhost. If you copy that
okay,
and then in a new tab, let's go ahead and paste that URL in. We're going to do
yeah,
everything through the browser. And then I want you to add an extra query parameter on the end. And this query
okay,
parameter is going to be in all caps demo
okay.
equals,
Oh,
and it's going to be equals and then lowercase true.
okay. Whoops, I got
Uh,
my
w-
fingers
uh,
there. Yeah, it's up lowercase. Yeah.
yeah, should be.
That's me just
I mean,
not
I guess
knowing
it
how
did
to type.
technically. There we go. Okay.
Okay.
So what the demo equals true query parameter does is I have some like randomly generated realistic messages going. So this ensures that we always
Okay.
have some kind of mock data going on, right? Something that looks realistic, but we don't have to rely on our good friends Anthony and Brittany to keep up the mock data.
Need backup. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So this is great. I'm
Yeah.
gonna, for fun, I'm gonna copy the localhost URL, and I'm gonna update the actual stream with it where I had
Okay.
the polished one, just for fun.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, and I'll remove the demo off it in there though. But
Yeah.
okay, so that should load up, and that's the other cool thing. If we're speaking of browser sources
Mm.
for a stream, they don't have to be like public URLs. You can use localhost anything, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's updated. It'll probably pop in at some point with something, but for now,
Mhm.
let's just. Oh, you know what? It's because the text is black.
Yeah, fix that. Let's go ahead and fix that. And you may every once well, actually no, you won't need to refresh it. But okay. So this has some basic scaffolding. And in
Mhm.
fact, the scaffolding actually kind of follows the hierarchy of the page. So if you like scroll up, you'll have like, your HTML and your body, followed by there's the I mentioned that the main structure of the chat log is an
Okay.
unordered list with the data Twitch chat attribute.
Okay.
And so there's some basic rules in there. Every list item in data Twitch chat has a data Twitch message
Okay.
data attribute. So that's every list item right there, right? That's every
Yeah.
message. So maybe let's start by adding just a background to each message. And overall, like once it gets to the
Um,
actual like kind of appearance of things, I'm gonna let you kind of take the lead there. But
yeah. Okay, I guess we'll keep it simple for now. I'll just go white since the text is black
mm,
right now, and we
okay,
can tweak as we go along. And folks in the watching the stream, you should, yeah, I can see it already updating in the
yeah.
on my stream. Okay, and this is cool. This is really nice too, because of the dev server reloading, not having to keep updating the browser source. That's pretty nice
Yeah,
too.
so good.
Okay, cool.
I love this kind of workflow. This is for me, this is the only way I can work on a theme like this, right? Is as through this
Oh
local
yeah.
flow.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Yeah, so we've got that, and then the message itself is composed of multiple items. Every message will have a node that's like I think it's like a paragraph tag that has the Twitch chat sender
Okay.
class on it, and that is the actual username. So we
Okay.
can go ahead and style that if you want.
Okay, let's go back with the hot pink maybe. That won't look too good with the white in terms of contrast, but
Sure.
maybe we can can we, let's put the I'm gonna put the background of black for now, and then maybe we can just put the text to I guess I can do it
Yeah.
globally. Let's just do here color. We can move this around after. That's the beauty of this.
Yep.
Uh, okay, cool. So we should have a nice contrast with the hot pink as the fore
Mhm.
color and then the background. And I'm just mentioning that because like I know you're big into accessibility. I was a lead front end before, and like these things are super important.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, people outside of the web dev world, I think they realize this to some degree. Not everybody, but you know what I mean. Like when you see like bright yellow text on a white screen, you're
Mhm.
like, oof, you know. So All right,
Yeah.
cool. I see it.
Um, and
Oh,
yeah, and that's so important. So I've tried to provide like APIs to make it easy. Like you can tell there's yeah, we'll get to the point where we can start using like a user's like selected chat color if you want. And there's
okay.
APIs in there to make that a little easier as well for like managing color contrast. I'm
Okay.
super excited for the CSS color contrast function to land in browsers. That's going to make a lot
Yeah.
of these things easier. Um, yeah. Uh,
Okay.
and so we were styling the usernames, and then the actual message contents is this
Okay.
Twitch chat message. So the philosophy here is anytime I can indicate some information with a data attribute, I am. However,
Hmm.
in this case, there wasn't really a data attribute that like made sense in this case. So I'm using a class to denote that it's like a part of the overall message and it's
Okay.
the contents of the message. So if there's anything you
Gotcha.
wanted to do here, like change the font or something like that, we totally could.
Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. We could do. I don't know. Let's have some fun and let's do font family. D. You can have comics. I have GitHub Copilot going on there.
Mhm.
All right. I don't know if Comic Sans work on Mac. I can't remember.
You may put after the Comic Sans MS, maybe put Comic Sans MT, I think.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
like just like for extra insurance.
Just in case, because we need that. All right. Cool.
You need it. Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it updated
And
it. Cool.
cool. And then also messages can have emotes in them. And so here I'm providing just a basic width that makes it like just slightly larger than the text itself. So it kind of
Okay.
stands out. Um, I found that this tends to be kind of a sweet spot for emote size. You could change this if you want, but like this tends to be a good kind of sweet spot for making sure that they're like they stand out. If you have them
Okay.
be the exact height of the text, the negative space in the emote will actually make it seem smaller. So this is like an optical trick to make it seem like it aligns with the rest of the text around it.
Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha.
So
No, that's cool. Awesome. Okay.
um,
And
yeah,
and I like how you pretty much guide folks here. Like we haven't looked at the README or anything, but I like how this is very clear and with the comments
mhm,
saying, pop this in here.
yeah,
And again, getting back to the dev server flow, it's a really nice way just to, I mean, this is honestly one thing in web dev in general that I love is just seeing the instant changes. Like I mean, we've had all kinds of tools, like depending on libraries you work
mhm,
with, but even before that, like browser sync,
yeah.
I don't know how I could work without any of that kind of workflow now, honestly. It's,
Yeah, absolutely. And I need to do more work on documentation, especially like, not everyone's gonna have Ben Myers over their shoulder walking them through
yeah.
this, right? Um, and actually, like you mentioned the comments thing, I merged this in like 2 hours ago, just to make sure it was available because we needed it. So okay.
Yeah.
I think let's maybe do some adventurous things. Are there things you'd like to see in your overlay, or a personality you'd like it to have?
Yeah, well, I am a fan of alpacas, which is
Mhm.
why I have that on my stream. I haven't drawn an SVG of an alpaca, but we
Yeah,
could potentially use the image maybe. So I could bring that in, I guess.
sure.
I
So
just gotta
this is
pull it.
when you're doing things with like images and icons and stuff, you're gonna run into a challenge, which is that people expect to be able to just load their like image, like add in some image tags or whatever. But the thing is, um, this show my chat is written so that all the customization happens in the style sheet, right? You can't change the markup for your theme.
Hmm.
It's not designed for that. So as a result, we're going to have to use tricks like background image colon URL or whatever, things like that to load in images through our style sheets rather than through changing the markup in any way.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah. So okay. And do you have a particular folder where you would keep the images in these themes, or?
Again, so no, because the stuff that exists is for needs to apply for every theme, right? And so
Oh,
the
oh yeah,
idea
yeah.
is,
Okay, okay, gotcha.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, sorry,
um,
my
yeah.
brain fizzled there for a sec. Sorry. Um, yeah.
So,
Okay.
and Nikki's got a good point. So Trost had this issue. So he wanted Alex Trost runs Front End Horse, and so he wanted a horse theme. And so he built Horse, Horse, Horse. This was actually his original theme. I did it as a copycat of his styles. But there's a second theme
Okay.
in this directory called Horse, Horse,
Okay.
Horse, and that's the one to check out. Um,
Okay.
and if you wanted to show that in like the Show My Chat browser or something like that, just so we could kind of see
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
like he's doing a thing where like um oh, that's gorgeous.
Yeah. Yeah. Major GeoCities vibes going on here.
Yeah.
Horse,
So
horse,
horse, horse,
horse.
horse.
Okay.
And so he's
Yeah.
got this kind of bit where yeah, and that you'll probably need the demo true for that.
Yeah.
Or we could just kind of
Okay.
look at it in the overlay builder. There we go. Okay, so he's kind of got this thing where he's got horses, and all of these horses are different colors. They're your chat colors, actually. So he had kind of this
Oh, okay.
roundabout thing he wanted, and we had to do that with some SVG magic, basically to
Okay.
bring it in and bring it in a way that we could change the colors. But you don't already have the SVG, and I think maybe it's not gonna necessarily be enough time per se for doing that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
It's a
trying to
really
think of
nice theme.
yeah, I think Alex did a great job at that. And another thing to call out too, there is a little horse icon next to Nikki T Online that just kind of flew off. Patricia69 has the mod icon. Flavy Ryan,
Yeah.
Charlie29 have purple stars that are for subs. So this is a feature that we do have is we
Oh,
know
okay.
what your role is in the chat. So we can style mods differently from the streamer, differently from subscribers, differently from VIPs. So we have
Okay. That's
tons of
really cool.
information in that regard.
Yeah. This is
So
amazing that how configurable it is.
yeah.
This is like a great project because in the sense it's like out of the box you can just grab
Mhm.
something, but then you can really dig deep if you
Yeah.
want to tweak stuff without it
Mhm.
being like hokey pokey kind of like just
Yeah.
so this is really nice
So,
that
are you familiar with CSS Zen Garden or with Stephanie Eccles' Style Stage project?
yeah, yeah, as Zen Garden for is super old, but yeah, for folks that it's still online though, isn't it? I believe
Mhm. Yep.
can give folks a show. But if you want to just give a quick explanation of what it is in style stage dev in terms of which I'm assuming your project's kind of inspired in that same sense.
Directly. Yeah, this is what if overlays, like chat overlays, but they were CSS Zen Garden or Style Stage, right? So the markup is always the same. The only thing that changes between the themes is the actual style sheet that gets pulled
Okay.
in. So yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. It's really
so
nice.
yeah.
Oh, that's Dan Mall. Okay. Yeah, and
Oh wow.
again, this is also a great example. Just, I mean, I'll drop it there, but definitely check out some antics bench stream. But this is getting back to semantic markup as well, right? Because like you can have things in a proper way. So in terms of screen readers or any assistive technologies can still, parse this and like help people navigate that site. But then you can just make it really beautiful based on whatever style you want, and it's they are custom obviously, but it's kind of what you're doing as well, where you're just modifying the style sheet only, which is it's a really nice, and it's there's a lot of great designs in here. I remember this when I was like a lot younger, but
Mhm.
and let's just give a shout out to Style Stage. Is it Style Staged Dev or Style
Yes,
Stage Dev? I think it.
stylestage.dev.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
This is by Stephanie
Yeah.
Eccles. It's the modern version of CSS Zen Garden that's much more centered around semantic markup. And so
Yeah.
if you were to inspect the markup, you would see like minimal classes and stuff like that, right? Um,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
um,
no, Steph's awesome too. I've had her
mhm.
when I was on the dev stream. She came on and just she's so talented.
Yeah.
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 Okay, cool,
So,
cool.
that's kind of the philosophy we're working with here, right? In Style Stage and in CSS Zen Garden, you can't upload your own images. Like instead, you'd have to like pull them in as like you'd have to use like SVG, like raw SVG literals, or you'd have to like already have it up on some URL, and then you pull that in as like a
Okay,
URL.
gotcha, gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. No, so this is yeah, so I'm curious in terms of Alex's theme here. So it's SVG and I guess you're tweaking fill and stroke colors based on
Yeah,
seals or
yeah, well, I mean, let's look at it, right? Let's
yeah.
so first of all, I think the first part of this is using the chat colors. So let's actually go ahead and do this. So let's go to yellow CSS and um, let's make use of a custom property that is going to be assigned on every message, um,
Okay.
or rather, hang on, I'm gonna find the actual name, and then where uh, I'm looking. Hang on.
Oh yeah, no worries.
Uh, okay, got it.
Transition.
So for any message that is sent by someone who has specified their chat color, there will be a
Okay.
custom property that's defined on the list item itself. That
Okay.
custom property is called Twitch Sender Color. So let's, yeah. So we don't need to set this at all, right? Because it's automatically
Yeah.
set by Show My Chat. In fact, I would ask that you maybe don't overwrite it
Yeah.
because it's specifically designed to represent the user preferences. But what we could do here is we could say instead of background color, let's say var Twitch
Yeah.
sender color.
I can
And
always
we
put
should
a
provide a fallback because not everyone has set their chat color. So we should have kind of this default color. Now, this is going to be an inaccessible nightmare because we're saying like always like
yeah.
the sender color is the background for every message, but it should
Yeah.
work. I can't actually see it, but I assume it's working.
It's
Um,
I guess it's green. That's what mine is. I guess.
mine is green as well. So um,
Okay.
yeah, so we have access to this, right? That's kind of the first piece of this, right?
Okay.
And so now if you go to horse, horse, horse,
Okay.
um, and you look at just do a kind of a command F for sender color, you'll
Okay.
find that it actually exists in let's do one more because it'll be in a pseudo element.
Okay. Gotcha.
There
Shout
we go.
out to Sudo.
Yeah,
Oh, this is the horse.
yeah, yeah. So what he has is this data Twitch message. So for every message, there is a before pseudo element, and he has this mask in there that's set up with like a clip path. That path is the shape of the horse, so it's the horse's silhouette. So if you
Ah.
only had
Okay.
this, yeah, if you only had this, you would have a silhouette of a horse, and then the
Okay.
background is set to your chosen color. If you don't have a chosen color, it defaults to that kind of rusty red.
Okay.
Um,
This is cool.
yeah, and
I'm
then
okay.
oh, good.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I'm not really that talented of an artist, but
Mm,
my daughter loves drawing, so I think I might get her to
yeah.
trace the alpaca, or well, I could probably trace the
So,
alpaca, but
if I remember correctly, Trost actually got this SVG from, Figma and then just adapted it
okay.
to his and then you can see that there's this after pseudo element that, is this is a, data URL, but effectively what this is everything that gets slapped on top of the horse's silhouette. So, it's gonna be the
Okay.
horse's mane, eyes, and there's a little tongue that sticks out as well.
Okay.
So,
And we have that separation, I guess, because you want the background color or the user's color just on the horse body, I
yeah.
guess. So.
Yeah, but this is something where he like dude spent several hours trying to get this to work, and we just don't have
Yeah.
that kind of time, I think. So you can
Yeah.
do this. This is something that is interesting to like look at and kind of use as a pattern here. But it's not something I think that with the time we've got for our stream we can quite replicate.
Yeah, yeah, no, no, for sure. But I'm definitely gonna look at this, and this is to your point again about not having images in the project. So like data images is a great way to do
Yeah.
that with the data URLs. Cool. All right. Okay, and then depending on the theme too, you can obviously have animation as well if you wanted.
Mhm.
Um, I guess the thing to say about animations here is it's not because you can have the person's animated preferences, but because this is an overlay, it's not like individual
Yeah.
people would be able to say I don't I prefer reduced motion. So but because this is really the stream itself, not an actual web page they navigate to. So
Right, and that is kind of this interesting thing of like, I've had, whenever I've done streams where I've built overlays on streams, people always go like, "Oh, you should use this responsive technique." I'm like, I actually shouldn't because this is going into a browser that's going to be loaded in OBS, and I need
Yeah,
it to like appear at exact dimensions. It's never going to appear as anything but that. Um,
yeah, exactly.
there are things you can do with that. So yeah, Alex has some great animation work going on here to have like the horse kind of swing in from the left, and then also the speech bubble appears. So
Okay.
this I don't know. I just adore that this is all still the same markup as like Candy Stripe Stark or the Pride one, right? Like
Yeah,
it's all the same markup, but just so much flexibility here.
yeah.
But I'm noticing we have what, like half an hour, right?
Yeah, yeah. We got 30 minutes. Yeah.
Okay. So let's maybe do something a little more practical in that time. Is there like do we just want to find a way to get an alpaca image into each message or something like that? Like a just a
Yeah,
image source from like Google or something like that?
yeah. Let's do that. We'll just paste the URL in directly. I think.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I have a Cloudinary URL. Actually, I
Oh
believe.
yeah. Cool, cool.
Just let me. Okay, yeah. Let me go to a code pen. Yeah, just one sec here. My little secret for my social cards is I've actually been building the social cards out in CodePen, so uh,
Mm.
I was just lazy. So
Oh, oh
um,
no, don't worry. I all of my social cards are just created with an 11D site that I already use for other things. I'll put a link to my social card webpage in the chat
okay.
there. But like I do absolutely the same thing. Okay, so yeah, you've got this little alpaca. We could have it maybe sticking out like the top left of each message or something like that.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure. Okay,
and we
let's
could
do
maybe
that
have
in
that be like
loud
a
VS Code.
yep.
All right, so let's go back in here. So that would be the before on which element again?
So probably the message, right? Like we're
Yeah,
probably
okay.
going to do the and by that I mean the list item, not the like message contents. Um,
Okay, yeah.
and so yeah, let's go ahead and create. Yeah,
Is it on
let's
that
do
one or?
this. Yeah, and let's just add, you'll need to add your own selector. I haven't added every selector in
Oh
here.
yeah, yeah, no, I know. It's not SAS, so I'll just copy.
Mm, so yeah, this is going to be yep. And then data. Oh,
Uh,
I see. Yeah.
I guess just. Oh no, I could it be a background? I guess it's fine as background, or what was he using?
You know
He was
what?
using a path. Um,
Is it using a
I think that's what his
Oh, well,
was.
he's using an SVG and you're using a just straight up image, I believe, right? Um,
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so I can just do Yeah, because I
uh,
can I load an URL as content? I don't know if I've never done that, or is that
uh,
only because it's the
I'm, I'm,
SVG?
I'm doing some Google. I'm doing some Google.
Doing the Google. Send for
Yep.
backup. I'm gonna try it while.
Uh, okay. Yeah. So if you've got, yeah, it would be content and then colon URL and then you pass it. This URL has to be in a string. Um,
Okay, yeah, yeah. There's some. Is it background URL that doesn't require a string? I can't remember.
I don't know
All
if
right.
this actually requires a string, but that's what I'm seeing here. And
Okay.
then, yeah, you probably also want to do, like position relative and then
Yeah.
put position absolute on the message itself.
Yeah. Okay.
And I have
Okay.
no idea how well this will work. We will see.
Let's see. I'll
Um,
close. Hello, horses. Oh,
oh,
it's working.
oh,
It's a large.
it
It's a
worked.
large image. That's why.
Yeah, yeah. Let's
It's
set.
working though.
Yeah, we need to change. Okay, just width and height is what it is, and we'll just set those to be like 1M, 1M, or something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Although I do love the big alpaca, but yeah. Oh
It's
wait.
giant. That's a part
Yeah.
of your OBS right now, right? Like no one can see what we're doing.
Uh, no, it's updating live. Because I have the real URL live.
Yeah, but I
The
mean,
like
just
the
there's a
local thing.
giant alpaca head covering the stream, right? Width and height. So you'll want to do height.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
Um,
Got distracted by the big alpaca. Okay.
yep.
Should
Hope,
refresh in a sec.
hopefully that
Okay.
does.
Let's
If
check
if
that.
that Oh, and then display block,
Oh yeah. Okay.
and that'll help the width and height take effect.
Yeah.
I
Good
promise I'm
call.
gonna do this. I'm just reading off of Stack Overflow right now. Oh God.
Oh
Okay.
wait.
Oh
Okay.
no.
Well, no. I think what I'll do is let's just get a smaller image for now. So like, I'll
Okay.
just
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it simple and we won't worry about all that. I
Mm.
think because aren't the messages? No, it shouldn't matter. The message. Oh yeah, because the messages are
Yeah.
LIs, so they're inline by default. But isn't it? It's in a flex box though, right? With a column down.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
probably why. What's going on? So I'll
Okay.
just try and I'll just Google a small image for now. So hopefully Google alpaca image. All right, I'm just gonna copy this little. Uh, let's inspect that.
Yep.
All right, there's. Hold on a sec. Let's do this guy. I'm trying to get the image, but it's. Is that it? No, that's the search. Where's the image? Must be in the style somewhere. Hold on. Let's go to computed. See. No. All right.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna waste the whole stream just finding an image. Okay,
Yeah.
let's just go. I'll just see if I can get a small one. Okay, copy. Okay, copy image link. There we go. That's a bit smaller,
Mhm.
and it's not gonna look perfect, but I'm 100% okay with that. So if we come back here,
Yeah.
okay, it's still a little
Yeah.
wonky,
And
but
yeah, all the messages are. I think it's the position absolute on the messages that are causing some
oh
issue.
yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah, let's
Yeah.
take that off. Yeah, no, that makes
Oh.
100% sense.
Yep.
All right. Wrap. Okay, let's take that off. And we'll forget about relative now. These are things I can tweak later once I get the actual alpaca image. Okay,
There we go.
that's better.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's gross, right? This is by far not a pretty thing, but
This is it's like my GeoCities page years ago, so
oh my
I'm
god,
here for it.
yeah, I do notice.
Okay.
Oh god, okay, yeah, the hot pink display names is a choice. Um,
Okay, okay.
yeah, no, okay. Nikki over here
So
under
it's great.
construction. God, yeah, I hope this is under. Please don't ship
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
Nikki.
And web ring, please. Join
Yeah,
my web ring, please.
can you imagine, like, this being your theme and then just, like, trying to bring people on as, like, "I am a professional web developer."
Yeah, I am also an alpaca herder. Check out my webpage. Yeah, no, for sure.
Okay.
But anyways, this is good to know though. Like, I'm
Yeah.
definitely gonna probably spend way too much time, like Alex did, tweaking this eventually.
Yeah. Maybe
Uh,
just for the sake of having, actually hang on.
oh,
Yeah,
you know what we
I
could do?
mean what's up?
I was gonna say like we could keep it easier for now, and I could just put an emoji in instead for the content.
Let's do that.
Uh,
Yeah, let's
yeah,
do that. So,
just
and in
because.
fact, maybe what we'll do is we'll put a little emoji before the username. So even
Okay.
instead of like the data Twitch message, we'll just yeah, we'll have so
Yeah.
yeah, let's nuke this rule. Um
Okay. Just get.
yeah, or yeah, because we'll do this like as part of like the like we'll do Twitch chat sender colon before is what we'll do. So basically, like as a part
Okay.
of like yeah, and do you have like an emoji you want people to be?
We'll go with. Let's see here. Uh, Todd Libby. Let's go with a lobster for now, just for fun.
Yeah, okay.
Uh,
Channel our inner Todd. Todd's great.
yeah.
He was my second ever semantics guest.
Oh no
Um,
way.
yeah.
Okay, so
Um,
that's working.
So yeah, and tell you what, do you want to change up the emoji for specific people and then also for specific roles?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay,
We could
so
have. I don't know, for fun, like the somebody who's watching the stream could be a lobster, and then admin could be like a chef about to cook them. Maybe I don't
yeah,
know.
and tell you what, let's have you know, I like a T-Rex, right? So let's make me a
Okay.
T-Rex. And the way we're gonna do that, if you inspect the markup for the messages, I wanna
Okay.
kind of show you kind of this workflow of how you get the selectors you want, right? we're going to look at an individual message and we're going to look at the list item. So this is
Okay.
yeah, and you'll notice, first of all, there's so much in here, but,
Hmm.
there's this data Twitch sender equals Kaylee Ulrich, in there.
Yeah.
So you actually have information to the username, right? You have information about the
Oh,
username. So we
okay.
can use our selectors and our specificity to hyper specifically target individual users if we wanted. Um,
Okay. Okay.
so
That's interesting.
let's make yeah, it's so cool. I love this kind of stuff. So let's go ahead and pull in. We're gonna do data Twitch sender equals Ben D Myers, and then Twitch chat sender before.
I can see that GitHub Copilot is trying to help me out here.
Not
Oh
quite.
yeah, put
We're
your
not.
name right.
Yeah. So it's gonna be equals and then in quotes Ben D Myers. It
Yeah.
follows. I need to lowercase everything for rules. But actually, you know what? So this, first of all, selector's still not quite complete because we actually want to
Oh
target
yeah.
the Twitch chat sender that is inside the
Oh
data
yeah,
Twitch.
yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Okay, so
and yeah, so go ahead and yeah, yep, yeah, other way
but
around.
not yeah, sorry.
So it's data Twitch sender equals Bendy Myers, and then Twitch chat sender before. And in that data Twitch sender, what I want you to do is after the last quote,
Yeah,
so on line 49 as part of the data Twitch sender attribute selector part, um,
yeah.
where so you've got data Twitch sender equals Ben D Myers, and then after that quote, I want you to put space I. And what this does,
Okay.
this is a case insensitive flag. So it's going to compare
Oh,
data Twitch sender's value to Bendy Myers case insensitively. So it doesn't matter how I've capitalized my username because I actually have
huh.
capitalized E, D, and M. It'll compare insensitively. So this is
I didn't know about that.
it's
Today
very
we
cool.
learned something.
And for the content here, let's set this to be a T-Rex because why not?
Do I have T? Oh, I do have T-Rex. Okay, cool. All right, so
And
let's
let's give
save
this a
that.
save.
Okay, so
And
if you
I'll
drop,
send
okay, I see you updating there. Okay, cool. All right.
cool.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm loving how funny looking the chat is. The just the theme.
excellent.
It's like
Okay.
Christmas GeoCities meets Jurassic Park.
Christmas GeoCities meets Jurassic Park. That's my vibe right there. That is my aesthetic. Okay, so here's what I want to do. I want to you've got some wonderful subscribers, right? Um,
Mhm.
so let's give your subscribers their own emote. So let's
Okay.
go ahead and after the or maybe the before it doesn't matter. Yeah, let's go ahead and drop down a new line here.
Yep.
Um, and we're gonna
I don't know
do
if any of the subscribers are on the stream right now, so it's been a while that I've been streaming on my own stream. I only kickstarted a few weeks ago,
you
so
know
we'll
what?
see. But
Let me help. Let me help
oh,
here.
oh, you're too
Um,
kind.
there you go. Brittany, you should be getting a gift sub, and so I'm gonna need your help to send a message soon. Okay, so again, let's take a look at our selectors here, just to see what we've
Yeah.
got.
Okay.
Um, And so what you'll notice is we also have, and it won't be on every. Okay. Check the next list item. You'll see it's got this data Twitch sender roles equals subscriber, right? So we have a data attribute for what roles. And if you've got multiple roles, like if you're both a
Yeah.
subscriber and a moderator, this will be a
Okay.
space separated list. Um,
Okay.
so, yep.
Let's bring
Um,
that over. Okay.
and we're going to paste that in. I'm actually going to recommend that you set that to be tilde equals. And what that
Okay.
does is that checks to see if subscriber is any word in here, I think. Um,
Yeah.
and so if
Those
you
I
get,
knew about, but I'm still mind blown about the I there for ignore case.
yeah, so good. So actually, I'm trying to remember if I prefer. What is the difference between tilde equals and star equals?
Star equals means match anything, and till there was one because I'm mixing it up with jQuery and the actual CSS spec, but there was one like you could do caret equals, which means starting with, but because
Yeah.
it's using regex stuff,
Mhm.
tilde can't remember.
Like one of them is
Uh,
match a substring and the other is match a word, right?
yeah.
And I forget which one's which, but it doesn't really
Stars should
matter.
be
But
okay, but yeah.
yeah. So let's okay. And let's go ahead and set the content in here to be that works.
Okay.
Or if you
GitHub.
want yeah, no kidding.
Uh,
So
let's do a star.
uh
Okay. Let's do fire. Why not? Okay.
fire. Okay. So now any message that Brittany sends should have a little fireball next to it. Little inferno.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I see that happening. Okay. Cool. Nice.
So
Brittany,
tons of
this
different
girl
things.
is on
Yeah.
fire. Sorry.
Um, so yeah, and obviously this is not the most aesthetically pristine theme, right? But you've got so much flexibility here.
Yeah.
Tell you what, we've got 15 minutes left. I would love to do a silly thing, which is
Yeah.
let's make it so that anytime someone sends specifically one of your emotes, Nick, we're
Okay.
gonna have it just kind of rotate endlessly. So your
Okay.
emotes rotate endlessly. So the way we're gonna do that is if you scroll down to the bottom, you'll notice that there is a data Twitch emote. Um,
Yeah.
and let's go ahead and copy this rule here. Yep. And we're going to have this be what is the prefix for your emotes? It's uh,
Nick. I think it's Nick. Hold on a sec.
Nick YT14, it looks like. Okay. So
Yeah.
in line 67 in your selector there, I want you to do caret equals.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. Oh,
Do.
you've got an
Oh,
extra
whoops.
equals in there. But
Yeah. No. GitHub Copilot's like
yeah.
fighting me.
And
Okay. Cool. And yeah.
that's going to be that's going to be Nikki T14. So all Twitch assigns every streamer their own prefix for emotes, and so all of their emotes always start with their prefix, and this is unique. So we can guarantee that if an emote starts with Nikki T14, it's going to match this. And let's
Okay.
do a little rotating animation or something. Is that something you know how to do, or do I need to like do some quick googling?
Uh, I guess it's what with the keyframes is transition and then rotate 360 like 0 to 360. It's
I think so, yeah.
I'm a little rusty. One thing I was
Yeah.
never an expert at was
Okay.
animations. It's usually I look it up, but you can do it with
Oh,
I,
looks like there's yeah, so let's do some keyframes. Let's create some keyframes at the bottom of the style sheet here.
yeah,
We'll call this rotation
yeah,
and Copilot might actually help. Okay, so it's gonna be
yeah,
from braces and then
0.
uh no from and then braces. So no
Yeah,
colon, just yep.
yeah,
Yeah, there we go. And so it's going to be
yeah,
transform, rotate 0 degrees, and then
yeah,
two. So yeah, two
yeah.
and then braces. And this, I think, will have a. Yep, there we go.
GitHub Copilot saves the day. All
Yeah,
right.
no kidding. And then
Nice.
in your data Twitch emote, caret equals Nikki T14, it's going to be animation colon rotation 2 seconds infinite linear is the example I'm seeing over here.
Okay. Infinite dash. Oh, there we go. Cool. All right. So we got the keyframes, the rotation. Let's see what's going on here.
All right.
Uh,
So what I'm gonna do here is just get a bunch of emotes ready. And have
yeah, I'm gonna take
you?
off the demo.
Oh, right, yeah. Um,
Okay.
and
All right.
this doesn't seem like it's working. Your emotes aren't rotating. Oh, Brittany's saying you
Oh,
need
the
to remove it.
dash.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yes, yes. It's they're two separate words. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
There
that's
we
my
go.
bad.
And now it can come back.
Whoa.
So specifically, Nick's emotes are rotating, right? But no one else's. So
yeah.
again, not the prettiest theme in the world, but you've got so much
Yeah.
flexibility as to things you can do and things you can customize. Um,
Yeah. It's really cool.
yeah.
I know that I know the look of it isn't that great right now, but like you're saying, and this I can definitely see myself wasting hours and hours like just having
Mhm.
fun playing with this. So, um, and and I just kind of want to mention what you mentioned at the beginning too, and like we were talking about, like so browser sources in OBS, it's literally browser code. So all your JavaScript, all your HTML, CSS that uh,
Mhm.
it's literally your imagination's the only thing stopping you from doing
Yeah.
it not stopping you, but like I'm trying to say something like super motivational that's not coming.
Yeah. And like, what I would love is to get enough themes that look good, that like, folks who are not web developers can come to showmy.chat and they can see like the themes in the list and feel like they've got their choice of options, right? Um
Yeah,
uh so that way you like again, I don't anticipate that the workflow is going to be like, oh, creating a custom theme for everyone. But also what I
yeah.
kind of want to see is like there are folks who are just absolute CSS creativity wizards, right? And I would love
Hmm.
to see kind of what they could do with this. Like, I'd love to see maybe some people play around with like 3D chat overlays or something like that. I know that's something you can do with
Yeah.
CSS. Um, but there's just tons of fun things there. And I just I think it's a lot of fun to play around with this. Um,
No, it is, and this is kind of like how I'm just doing a time check. Sorry.
yeah.
Um, yeah, no, we still got 10 minutes. And this is kind of like I remember when I started doing web dev. Like I'm older, so like GeoCities for sure, but like Notepad and just
Mhm.
typing in HTML and CSS, and a lot of it like was just copying what people had done and then just playing
Yeah.
around with it. And and this kind of goes with the vibe of like CSS Vanguard and Style Stage Dev, Show My Chat, because
Mhm.
this is the kind of thing like you could just have so much fun and just keep tweaking it. It's like
Mhm.
you could probably lose your job just by being so engrossed in trying to do a theme all day instead.
Yeah.
Hopefully I don't do that,
Yeah.
but yeah.
And just to again highlight the flexibility, I would love if we could go back to the Show My Chat homepage. I'd love to just spend some time like kind of looking through the different themes, just so we can see
Yeah.
what people have done. So uh, yeah, so I think you've got some zooming. You've zoomed in a bit, but
Yeah, here, let's
yeah.
zoom
So
out a
this
bit
is
here.
yeah, this is the horse theme. If we started we've got Advent of Code, which I believe was our own Nikki Muleman. It's designed to look
Okay.
like Advent of Code for anyone who
Okay.
participates in that. There's next to it is Alex Party, which is by Alex Riviere, also known as Vimian. It's very, very much so inspired by GeoCities era. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
so, Animalese is one of mine. I was inspired by Animal Crossing.
Okay.
And this is something that I've done to kind of get that bubbly, playful feel for anyone who feels like that might be their kind of thing. And yeah, let's Stripe
Stripe
Stark.
definitely.
Yeah, this Candy Stripe Stark is maybe my favorite of the themes. I think this is the one where I feel like I really had like something that looks good, and I've actually genuinely used this in parts of some antics.
Okay.
Yeah, uh, let's yeah, cards is all right. I feel like I could have done better at that one. But if we kind of jump down to hologram or hologram neon,
Okay.
this is hard to see in the dark theme, but
Yeah.
yeah, let's go to hologram neon. I think that's a little easier to see. Um,
Yeah.
so this is designed as kind of like a sci-fi or cyberpunk type theme, right? Again,
Yeah.
all of this is the exact same markup. It's just different style sheets and designed to meet different vibes for your stream, right? Um,
Yeah. And like
looks
you're
like we
saying, you can't see it that well here right now, but if you were to put it as an overlay, you would, associate it to whatever
Mhm.
background you have and tweak it potentially. So,
Yeah, it's got kind of a like holographic like neon flicker too that I love.
oh yeah,
So
you're right. Yeah, that's
And yeah,
cool.
we don't have to
Let me-
necessarily look at all of these, but we've looked at Horse. Mind Chat is by Travis, Building Bedrock Layout, who's
Okay.
been in the chat, and it is designed to look like Minecraft. Um, so, uh,
But this is great. I love how it just demonstrates everybody's creativity.
mm,
Everybody
yeah,
has different takes. So,
yeah.
no, this is really
And
cool.
then yeah, um, yeah. So that might be a kind of good place to. I don't know if there's anything more you wanted to do or anything more you wanted to show, but hopefully. this gives y'all kind of an insight as to uh, show my chat and kind of why I built it and who it might be for. And if you're looking to get streaming,
Yeah.
I would even say like don't spend your time on building a custom theme unless you really know you need something that looks like custom. Uh,
Yeah.
Instead, like just take one of these and go right, run with it. Like start streaming. Don't spend a day and a half like fiddling with getting everything looking right because polish is
Yeah,
the enemy
exactly.
of shipping.
Yeah, exactly. No, this has been really great. There's like all kinds of stuff here that I'm definitely gonna dig into. Excuse me, after the call. I'm just gonna
Mhm.
close the share there. Hopefully, I don't
Yep.
kill anything else. Yeah, this has been really great, Ben. Really appreciate you taking the time to walk me through this. I'm definitely going to integrate this into my Twitch stream when I have some time, which will probably be on the weekend. And I'm thinking because I have real estate, like right now where I was putting it at the
Mhm.
top there. So I'll see where I'll put it, but
Yeah.
I could even maybe keep it at the bottom. So I'll see. But
Mm,
uh, it's just really one. It's a great project. It's open source, so feel free to fork that, folks, if you
mm,
want to. Uh, I guess one way to wrap up is like, you were talking before about people could submit themes if they want
mhm.
to. Is that what's the process for that? Is there a contributing
Yeah.
guide or?
So we do have a contributing guide. There's more I need to do for that as well. But you started the process by creating a fork, right?
Okay.
So the thinking is you would create a fork and then you kind of commit up to it. And then when you're ready to submit your theme, you would open up a pull request from your fork into the canonical origin show my chat. Um, and that's how it would be. I would ask that if you're going to be submitting themes, I would kind of like to have, like, some aesthetic guardrails there. I'm not gonna just merge in
Yeah.
everyone's theme, right? Like, I wanna merge in themes that look nice, but also be like, if you're merging it in, um, I would ask that you be mindful of this is something that would be used generically by anyone, and so the stuff that we
Yeah.
were kinda doing to play around where it's like, "Oh, Ben's, like, account shows up with a little T-Rex or whatever," like,
Bleep.
maybe don't have those kinds of customizations where it's, like, specific people would benefit,
Bleep.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, and I'll be looking for that and providing that kind of feedback. But
Bleep.
yeah, so you can open up a PR. I'll give you some feedback. If you were looking at this and going, "Oh man, but I really love having like my little T Rexes, and everyone gets their own custom emote." You
Yeah.
could completely use Show My Chat without ever merging into Upstream.
Bleep.
You could run it locally, like
Okay.
Nick's been doing today. And so you don't theoretically need to merge it in, but if you merge it in, other people get to take advantage of it, and it's just one less extra process you have to remember to kick up before you start your stream. So
Yeah.
that's the flow there.
Yeah. Yeah, I know for sure. Yeah, because I remember when I first started having overlays, I had some of them local host, and I would forget to start them, and then the
Mm,
stream would start, and then,
and
you
you're
know,
just
yeah, yeah, exactly. All those things where you kind of run into little snags when you start streaming, or even once you've been streaming for a while. I think I've got the process down somewhat good now, but
yep.
now that I got Video Ninja working for the video
Mhm.
properly, that's like a game changer for me. So thanks again for that, Ben. Um,
Absolutely.
I I dropped some links to give Ben a follow on Twitter, his own Twitter. There's also some antics on Twitter. There's a link there to the Twitch stream as well. I highly encourage you to check out the stream. Ben is always great on the stream, and I know you've been on a bunch of streams as well, including Learn with Jason and I think Trust Codes and a ton of them. Like, love all the stuff you do. So, really
Okay, thank you.
appreciate you coming on, and thanks everybody that tuned in. Had a lot of fun. I'm gonna have to go finish my GeoCities theme now.
Yes.
But yeah, so take care, folks. Next week, I got to double check the schedule, but it's either, I think, Dan Ott from my virtual coffee communities on. We're going to be looking at Remix with, because they used it for the virtual coffee site. So, going to be digging into that a bit. I've been working with Remix for work, so that should be interesting. So, check that out. And yeah, thanks again, everybody, and we'll see you next week.